Askreddit thread. What conspiracy theory can you absolutely not stand? WhoBuiltTheMoon.com. Edit. Rip my inbox. Jeez, why did I read that edit? It's a stupid edit. Who built the moon? Before I tell you what is so incredible, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Alan, blah blah blah. But in the last few decades, I have come across some incredible facts relating to our past. On my own and with my colleagues, I've written quite a lot of books about them, but I have never come across anything as important as what I'm about to talk about on this website. I warn you in advance, it's going to be hard to swallow. One day, humanity will have to go back in time 4.6 billion years to build Earth's moon. Sounds ridiculous, of course it does, but that's no reason to dismiss it out of hand. All manner of things would have seemed impossible once upon a time. Steam engines, flying machines. I certainly don't expect you to accept such an apparently lunatic statement without evidence. Unfortunately, there's plenty of that. You've got to be kidding me. That's hilarious. This is hilarious. That's just too funny. My favorite part. A lot of the professors are mathematically based. Some of you will want to see the figures and test them yourselves. Unfortunately, there isn't a room in this website to show all the mathematical proofs. To see those, you will have to get our book, Who Built the Moon, from the library, or better still, buy it. Of course, we can fit our proof in a book, but it's just simply too powerful to be stored on the internet. My favorite part, the moon is a sculpture of sorts, but it is also a very powerful machine. The moon has deliberately created a scale model of the sun. Well, after Roshi blew it up, someone had to build it again. Then Piccolo blew it up, and someone had to rebuild it again. When people complain about something being unrealistic in DBZ, I don't mean complain about internal inconsistencies in DBZ. I do mean just not realistic. I always point them out. This is a series where you can blow up the moon and nobody even bats an eye, let alone the lack of cataclysmic repercussions on Earth. Everyone knows the moon is only there to activate Great Ape form. You owe me 36 million brain cells for the 30 seconds I spent on that site. My god. That's great. That is hilarious. Sovereign citizens who believe that laws are like spells from Harry Potter or something. If you know the precise terms, you can do anything. You have to write your name in full caps, otherwise you're considered property of the U.S. Federal Reserves. Courts with flags that have gold frills are actually secret maritime courts. If you say you are traveling instead of driving, you can drive without a license while shotgunning natty ices. It's fucking hilarious and kind of enraging at the same time. Del Gribble, I do not recognize the authority of a court that hangs a gold fringe flag. A flag with gilded edges is the flag of an admiralty court. An admiralty court signifies a naval court-martial. I cannot be court-martialed twice. That is all. My favorite part of the gag is that he immediately follows up with, that is all, with furthermore. Don't forget that the courtroom is a ship. If the judge leaves, it means the captain has abandoned ship, and you can claim it as your own. As a former prosecutor, I had to deal with this shit all the time. All the time. With state inmates who were representing themselves. They came up with the most ridiculous shit. The one that really stuck out was an inmate who I just convicted for assaulting a guard. At sentencing, he appointed the judge as his trustee and said that because the judge now owed him a fiduciary duty, he could not sentence him. I laughed out loud. There is no way that I'm the only person who would love to hear more about these people. After spending about an hour on YouTube watching them, you will take that statement back. My coworker believes all rappers have to have anal sex with a member of the Illuminati in order to become famous. I wish I was joking. There is also the slightly more standard, all famous people have to allow the Illuminati to periodically sacrifice their friends and family in order to stay famous theory. Bruno Mars' mom, Kanye's mom, Jim Carrey's ex-girlfriend, all human sacrifices. Since posting this morning, I'm not going to. Oh, wait. Actually, since posting this morning, I came into work and he started explaining the flat earth theory to me. Again. I wish I was joking. Oh, the flat earth theory is hilarious. Hollow moon. Even if the moon were hollow, I don't see how it would matter. It would probably hatch into a space dragon that would immediately lay an identical moon and then fly off. What a ridiculous episode. That time when a bunch of Redditors just completely invented a conspiracy theory around a daycare because they thought it looked suspicious. I watched the whole mess unfold from the beginning, and sweet baby Jesus, that has to be the dumbest shit I've ever seen. It was like watching a pack of dogs all start barking up an empty tree because one of them thought they saw a squirrel up there. Except these were human beings who ought to know better. The kicker is that it only took them a day or two before someone actually went to the place and started taking pictures of the children. Before that, dozens of them were calling the place and asking all sorts of weird questions. Can you imagine what it must have been like for the people who work there? Out of all this silly bullshit I've seen in my life, that one beats it all. It's a Reddit thread, right? Conspiracy investigates. Mods nuked it. I'm not really that interested. That North Korea is actually a paradise and we're just fed a bunch of propaganda. In all fairness, that is basically what North Koreans are told. That Stevie Wonder isn't blind. Come on, people. It's true, when he's on stage moving his head from side to side, he's scanning the audience for good-looking women. That if you die in Canada, you die in real life. You absolutely do not. Source: Immortal Canadian. Wolverine Canadian. Radio astronomer here. I have a relative through marriage. Okay. Who asked me at one point, but surely you can tell me that we communicate with UFOs. And when I said no, we don't, he said with a wary, so the government is paying you off too. Further questioning revealed that's why I was surely getting a stipend for my PhD, to keep mum about it. I can't stand that theory because I find it an insult to my intellect and integrity that I could be bought off with just a PhD stipend's worth of money from the biggest discovery of all time that would guarantee my name in the history books. Reply that if the government was paying me, you would live in a nicer house. That or you'd be dead. I really like that idea, just because you can stake, whatever. Lizard people do not exist. That is 100% true fact. There is no such thing as lizard people. Sounds like lizard people talk to me. My memories are wrong because I'm from a different universe theory. Theories on Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is quite interesting, as it's about people sharing false memories, e.g. remembering that Nelson Mandela died while he was in prison in the 70s/80s, instead of in 2013. For some reason, though, a large contingent of the subscribers are convinced that there is no way their memories could be wrong, and there's a difference between their memory and reality. It must be because they are from another universe where the memories match reality. Just the other week, a guy was melting down over Thanksgiving being completely the wrong date until it was realized he'd forgotten how old his daughter was and had just checked the dates for the wrong year. Okay. I actually loving this subreddit. I just checked out like 4 or 5 topics and all of them are the OP saying, I remember things being like this, with someone else responding, no, that's wrong, you are dumb. Flat Earth theory, and the conspiracy that shape-shifting lizards are among us. Ugh. Hey, don't bag on the lizard people. Who do you think runs the government? I remember stumbling across the Flat Earth theory with some friends years ago and having a good laugh about it. The site we were looking at had something to do with massive ice walls and guardians at either side. It was their explanation as to why no one ever got to the ends of the earth and lived a tale to tale. 10/10 for creativity. Let's see. Asked a flat earther to explain. If the earth is flat plane, then explain why the moon is round. His explanation. The moon is a hologram created by NASA or the government. Apparently this is a pretty popular explanation among flat earthers. Projecting onto... Yes. It is being projected onto something. Next question. So how does the time cube factor into this? Not really a conspiracy theory per se, but the belief that posting "I don't give Facebook permission to use my personal information," etc. in a status will somehow protect your information. I just facepalm every time I see it. Don't forget the obligatory "can't hurt." Sure, it can't hurt. It makes you look a dumbass. I do not consent. I do not consent. I am a sovereign citizen. I declare bankruptcy. Since I was in the military, this one kills me. I saw a train full of army tanks. They're actually up-armored Humvees in my hometown of blank. I'm not saying they're invading, but they're really suspicious. Then goes to post pictures as if this doesn't happen anywhere else, or when National Guard convoy is driving from their armory to a training area and people get crazy with they're moving them out before a terrorist attack, or they're about to initiate martial law. I see this on Facebook several times a month. Since I was in the military, this one kills me. There's some banana head that keeps bothering the families of the Sandy Hook kids, claiming it never happened. If your conspiracy theory is based on 9/11 recordings of the first 30 minutes of an event like that, it'll be riddled with some conflicting reports. Those first movements always seem so chaotic. The Sandy Hook kids. If it could become some kind of minor god, I'd want to be the god of pointing out you're wrong on the internet. I'd show these conspiracy people the real events, like in A Christmas Carol. What is it? I live around Sandy Hook, and I can't believe the fucking ghouls that believe it was a hoax. They come to town council meetings, deface memorial playgrounds, harass and threaten the parents of dead kids, and demand to see pictures of slaughtered children. They should all seek serious psychiatric help. What? Those are weird people. Paul McCarthy isn't Paul McCartney. He is. Okay. That big pharma has the cure to cancer, but isn't releasing it because ineffective treatment makes them more money. You can't just cure cancer, because cancer is a catch-all term for a group of conditions with thousands of variations. If you could, a cure for cancer would make bazillions. When people die of cancer, you stop making money off them. When people survive cancer, they live longer and develop other things you can sell them treatments for. Pharmaceutical companies may be morally bankrupt, but they're definitely not hiding the magic cure. I might be wrong about patents here, but what I would get is Bill working for Company X developed cure for cancer. Company X can either patent that drug, giving it protection over its exclusivity, or keep it secret with the hopes that it will continue to profit off expensive treatment plans. Bill then has the ability to sell this drug to a rival company. That company is X. What is Company X going to do? Come forward and reveal that this was a trade secret that we're never going to use? Company X loses out on one of the most valuable drugs to ever exist. Okay. Let's see. Real life example. Novartis makes Gleevec, a great treatment for leukemia that is insanely, unbelievably profitable. If Pfizer spent 10 to 15 years of R&D to create a magic anti-leukemia drug that would blow Gleevec out of the water, you think Pfizer would just sit on it out of a crippling fear of profit and success and continue to let Novartis dominate the leukemia market? If you believe that, you sort of have to believe that pharma companies aren't money-grubbing, profit-driven, soulless corporations. Exactly. What's more, most people complain that the free market right now is too concerned with current quarter earnings, which is very true, prioritizing that over future profitability. So tell me, which CEO in their right mind is going to say, hey, we just developed a drug that cures cancer, any kind, instead of releasing it right now, seeing our stock prices go way the hell up, getting myself a bonus that would allow me to buy myself a small island, I'm going to sit on it so that we will continue to have steady profits in 10 years' time when I'm not working here any. Not to mention the fact that if they found a cure, chances are other drug companies can find it. So every day that goes by that they haven't patented that drug, they're risking a rival company coming along and taking their current and future earnings. Whew. Makes sense. Not that I thought anyone was like hiding a cancer pill. You see, the thing with cancer is it's like a growth of cells that doesn't stop, from what I understand anyway. That fluoride in the drinking water is a government plot to control the population. I saw a guy wearing a "There is poison in the tap water" t-shirt the other day. He didn't have any problem with the cigarette he was smoking, but he's apparently very concerned with the drinking water. That North Dakota exists. Have you ever met anyone from there? Do you know any famous company HQ that are from there? Fargo was movie, which is fiction, and so is the TV show. Cars with license plates from North Dakota are all made up. I was born there, and I'm still pretty sure it doesn't exist. Hell, I was born and lived there, and I still don't believe it exists. There's some town in Germany where this exact joke has been running for years. I forget its name, which is just as well because it doesn't really exist to begin with. Okay. That the moon landing was fake. How much proof can someone need? No fake moon landing comment is complete without a video of Buzz Aldrin punching a man. Doing a little research, it appears that nobody was willing to prosecute for the assault. He was clearly provoked, and the guy ended up writing a letter of apology to Aldrin, which I think is some nice closure on that. As I'm sure you read, the judge threw it out, and the whole debacle was in poor taste, to say the least. The punchy tricked Buzz to attend an interview for a children's show, which was all a lie. The guy deserved a solid jaw knock. Which is what you can expect when you get... Which is what you can expect when you call a Korean War veteran a coward. Korean War vet, astronaut, and a man who walked on the goddamn moon. The most insane thing I've heard regarding that was the other ones were real, but the first one was still totally faked. Okay. I don't know if it counts as a conspiracy theory, but people who try to say the Holocaust didn't happen, that just really, really irks me. I love how President Eisenhower was. As soon as they rolled into the first camp, he ordered hundreds of photos to be taken because he knew that people would try to deny it happened, and he was right. But thanks to him, the German government never could. Even more than that, they put hundreds of German civilians who lived near death camps in trunks and drove them there so that they'll see everything and wouldn't be able to claim that they didn't know what was happening. And they were forced to bury the dead in exhumane mass graves for proper burials. Man, I'm just messing all these things up right now. That Kim Jong-il isn't the greatest golfer of all time. Bullshit. Vapor trails from airplanes. It's physics, not a government plot to crop dust the world. That's what the government wants you to think. Oh, that's it. Okay.